The Dow jumps here 200 points as investors bet Thursday's inflation data will confirm a slowing trend. So this is really the news of the day. It's your market update here. Brandon here, guys, and I just wanted to start with the stock market. But again, remember, the stock market is what is going, and a little pop here, but there's the underlying fundamentals really haven't changed much. They cite down here the 6.5% increase, and this is why things are popping on the equity side. And albeit a little pop. I mean, it went up a couple percent here. Oil is really the biggest mover at 3% on the day. Everything else, Bitcoin's up a little bit. And we will actually go to some of these other things. You can check these out. Again, this is the headliner, though. Inflation rate seen falling. This is what people are kind of expecting at 6.5%. Just mathematically, again, things kind of have to fall just because they've risen so fast that where things are going to go, that decelerating acceleration has to happen. It can't be accelerating constantly at this exponential curve the entire time, so it has to kind of come down at some point. That's probably what we're experiencing right now. So don't get too comfortable. The big macro talking heads, not the Krugmans of the world, people that are constantly wrong, but the true investors, people that are managing people's money on the ground floor. I mean, they're saying, okay, hey, maybe the economy is a tiny bit stronger than maybe everyone thought or whatever. So maybe it pushes it towards the end of Q2 where there's real recession, real problems, maybe into Q3. So again, this year is still going to be crazy, and we have to buckle up. We have to get ready, we have to be prepared for what's going on. And the beauty of this is that there's opportunity. This is the thing we try to talk about a lot. It's not doomsday. It's trying to be realistic and pragmatic, and there is going to be crisis, but in every crisis, in all chaos, there is massive opportunity, and that's when the wealthier get wealthier, and they can constantly are doubling down. When people are running from the burning building, they are running in. And as Warren Buffett says, is we like them, we don't like them. He says great things sometimes, and he says not so great things sometimes, but he is correct when he says that when there are blood in the streets, that's when you want to be buying. And again, that might be Jim Rogers, but Warren has many of the same things where you want to be basically being greedy when everyone's fearful, which is a Warren quote, and fearful when everyone's greedy. And Jim Rogers has the blood in the streets and buying panic and selling greed, right? So you have to be comfortable doing that, even though it takes a lot of emotional intelligence. So again, here, oil was really, like I said, the biggest mover. That's the biggest thing going on here. We have the stocks, like I said, really, 1% moves, just these little pops here. But again, these are the derivatives. So starting with kind of that the end of the spigot here, kind of what's coming out. But what if we want to know what really moves markets? It's this right here. It's the bond prices. It's the DXY, which we'll see here in a second. And again, this really hasn't moved much in the last few days. This has really kind of stayed still, as you kind of have seen here. It's just kind of sat over the last few days and just kind of chopped sideways, still about 3.5, 3.6, the yield. And then let's see here, we will tap into the commodities. Again, gold has gone up just a little bit, and silver ended the year about flat. Silver ended up. So again, they kind of doing their job, quite honestly. And then let's check out the Forex. We'll go to the DXY. This is the other important one. And again, 103. So you can see it's kind of chopped sideways really the last week or so and really hasn't done much. So again, these are the derivatives, the DXY, the 10-year yield is kind of the benchmarks of what's going on. And if these are sideways, there's not going to be a ton of activity in the markets, quite honestly. So something to just kind of look at and prepare ourselves for, because there is going to be massive opportunity. Again, we just put out our newsletter, a monthly portfolio allocation newsletter, so please go check out that. There's a couple of videos back on YouTube. It's also, you can click in the description on the blog and go see the breakdown of that and read through that. But that is what we're preparing for, and I am preparing, whether it's food storage, Bitcoin, gold and silver, energy, water, security, all these different areas, and preparing for the massive opportunity that is coming our way. Most assuredly, this decade, right? Most assuredly, this decade, and it's going to be, probably this, maybe this year, quite possibly, maybe the next year or two. So that's where we want to be prepared. We want to understand what's going on and how we can flourish in that environment. Because again, this is not about doomsday. It's not about, oh, whoa, crazy things are happening. This is about massive opportunity coming forward in change and being the change you want to see in the world, whether it's me, trying to get out liberty, freedom-minded, free market capitalism thoughts, and asking questions, digging deep into subjects, and then working in the Bitcoin space and real estate, how real estate's going to change through Bitcoin in many ways, and just the Bitcoin space, the freedom space in general, and being the change you want to see and working in that world, and publishing and making content and educating in that world. Because I truly want to be a part of that change. It's time to not sit back anymore and just, well, let's hope the politicians are going to do that. That was the first part of my life, 10, 20 years ago. Politicians are never the answer. Government's never the answer. Thinking, oh, we're just gonna, people are gonna get it, bad things are gonna happen, and then all of a sudden people are just gonna switch, and we're gonna figure it out and just vote in the right people. We can't be relying on men to be doing that. The trust can't lie there. When we have to trust but verify at the end of the day, and we've verified that they're doing a terrible job. So what are we doing? We're taking the bull by the horns, quite honestly, and we're seeing for our own eyes what exactly is going on, reading markets, the frameworks, what is actually happening, and what do we need to do to understand that so we can position ourselves to thrive moving forward. So that's the market update for the day, kind of the end of the day market update, and what's kind of closing out the markets here. We'll see if anything big happens at the end of the day. But again, oil's the big mover here, up 3% on the day. And again, as oil, it's another thing we haven't talked about a ton here, but as oil, it's one of the, it's really the biggest thing in all the economy, right? Energy, and so much of the economy, the global economy, runs on oil and runs on energy, and we need that for everything, whether it's transportation or getting goods to different places through transportation to make other things, all through oil. When that's going up, when that's screeching higher, then obviously it makes everything more expensive on down the line. So kind of at some type of equilibrium here right now. In a way, we've just had this kind of chop. It feels like there's just kind of like, okay, which way are things going to break? Are they going to break up, or are they going to break down? So we'll see. We'll see here in the coming weeks. We're going to see what the inflation report comes out this week. I believe it is tomorrow that it comes out, so we shall see. And then you're probably going to see market moves either way. So it'll be interesting to see and report back on that tomorrow, see what happens, and see which way markets are moving. But again, short-term noise is what it is. We know the macro scenario. We know that the dollar absolutely is going to continue losing value. Absolutely going to do that. Let's see if we can see our charts here. Again, just to remind you, we're going to keep getting further and further into debt. We know that. We know the dollar is going to keep losing value to Bitcoin and just losing value in general. Everything in your life is going to become more expensive. Like right here, if you keep holding in dollars, look at eggs over the last 40 years. If you keep holding in dollars, your life, your grocery bill gets more and more expensive. If you hold in Bitcoin, your life gets cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. That's what happens when you hold a finite asset. So understand what's going on. Don't trust me. Do the homework. Trust but verify, and make the right trade for yourself. Make the fair trade. If you believe in dollars long term, that the dollar is going to this rise in prices everywhere, that being a good thing for humanity. If you believe in that long term, then so be it. Then sit in dollars, and hopefully it's there at the end of the day for you. If you believe in making change and in doing something different and having a different outcome, then I welcome that as well. Appreciate your time, your energy. It's the most important asset we have. Please like and subscribe to the video here. Please share it. Please let me know what you got out of it, what else you would like to see, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one.